I don't want to know what she's doing with this with the bodies. Probably doing some impregnation crap, some inflation impregnation crap. Ugh. Ah. Don't fall for her feminine wiles, Doom Guy. She's gonna impregnate you with her young. And watch out for those things. But that's how powerful that chain gun is. How many people think about the stuff that's on the stuff on think about the stuff on like DeviantArt and how fetishistic stuff like that is really just nightmare fuel that people for whatever reason sexualize. It's kind of like a lot of things such as My Secret Garden and how that is stuff like the accounts of like female sexual encounters and something like that, and how the stories in that are in reality just rape fantasies, or rather rape actual accounts of rape. And I find that to be like fascinating how we prize sexualization of like really fucked up shit, like being impregnated by spider creatures, like what I was joking about with the spider lady in Doom 3.
Service lift call to station.
And it's funny that, and not funny. It's not surprising that we would do that. This is after all the age of the Kali Yuga. This is the Kali Yuga. This is the age of like perversity, and I don't just mean sexual perversity. I mean metaphysical perversity, where we think that the material world is all that there is, and whereas earlier we were obsessed with this idea of gods and demons, and didn't realize the world beyond that sort of like idea that people have. And this is just one of those things that I find really fascinating, looking into various cultures and their stories. The Christian end time prophecies are compared to like Indian culture is fascinating. A lot of Christians really, a lot of Christians would not look into that stuff themselves, but I would. So it's just really fascinating looking into things such as that, because it gives you an idea of what our society has, what people have been talking about for a long time. Like all the cataclysms, like a lot of the cataclysms that have befallen humanity. But you look into like a lot of those ancient stories, and you look into like the Bhagavata Purana, you look into like the Garuda Purana or the Vishnu Purana, and you see a lot of like these stories. I'm Gilbert Godfrey, and I played the Afrat Duck. There was a lady from Heraclea, but she was in love with a Templar. And on the night of her burial, this wicked lover crept and defiled the grave. Yeah. Holy Blood, Holy Grail. I never read the book. I have never read the book Holy Blood, Holy Grail. But I've heard of the Da Vinci Code. And that's always a lot of fun. And at least I have more stuff to say here. I'm not gonna take it. No, I'm not gonna take it. I'm not gonna take it anymore. Yeah. And D. Snyder was overrated compared to like Frank Zappa. Luckily, Frank Zappa died before he could tarnish his name, like every other like singer has done. And I just find that to be I find that to be one of those things that I find unfortunate, because it's like everyone nowadays is a sellout, a grifter, and like almost everyone, that is. And even then, you just don't want to listen to any. You just don't want to listen to any celebrity, period, because your natural proclivity is not to listen to them. Because a lot of them are attention-seeking asteroid orifices that really want you to hey pay attention to me, and you have to ask yourself, do they really believe the things that they're saying? Like, I remember, like, Tim Roth saying some things about Charlie Kirk, like, a month ago, and after he was, like, dead, and something about, like, the only Kirk that matters is James T. Kirk. And I would totally agree with him wholeheartedly if that was not tied to like Charlie Kirk or something, because James T. Kirk is totally a great James T. Kirk is an awesome captain. Like people used to debate like Kirk versus Picard, and I'm like, Kirk is the best captain of the of any of the Enterprises in Star Trek. He's the absolute greatest captain. Like, I I much more like watching the original series than I do the Next Generation for a lot of different reasons. Other than having I've seen more of the Next Generation than I have seen of the original series. You know? And I just find that stuff to be some of the most I just find the original series to be one of the best Star Trek series. Even though it is 1960s camp fest, it is the best Star Trek series that I can think of. Better than the Next Generation in some ways, because it's just really cowboy. I love it because it's cowboys in space. It's Star Trekking across the universe on board the Starship Enterprise under James C. Kirk. Star Trekking across the universe. We can only go forward because we can't find reverse. Because the Star Trek future is progressive. Because the Star Trek future is progressive. And why would we want to go in reverse? Why would we want to go in reverse? Because we're going on forward.
Service lift called to station.
Our future is supposed to be bright and idealistic. Our future is supposed to be one that is a really good future. The modern Star Treks do not get... The modern Star Treks really took what DS9 did, but did it a lot more, but went way too far. And then they tried to lighten it up with Strange New Worlds, and Strange New Worlds kind of seemed like an okay show, but that just feels more and more like season 1 of the Next Generation to me. Like, that's sort of like they don't have Star Trek right, or they never really figured it out at all, or were given enough time to figure it out. And I feel like if they had allowed Star Trek to be around, or allowed Strange New Worlds to air more, he might have figured it out. But from what I've heard, with like Discovery still being terrible, from what people told me, I doubt that that no Trek would have gone anywhere. I doubt that no Trek would have gone anywhere. And it's just they've been given so many years to figure it out. But you know, I honestly think they should just cancel all the Star Trek series, except for maybe like Lower Decks. They could have continued that going, because that one I've seen a little bit of, and I find that one funny. That one's a little bit funny.